Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, so for the last decade, the mortgage industry has really played by one simple rule: just shout the lowest rate. But today, we're going to break down why that rule is completely broken. We're going to explore the new battlefront, where the fight isn't over rates at all, but over a buyer's entire journey.
And this single idea right here, this is the heart of the whole change. I mean, it seems so simple, but it fundamentally reorders everything: how borrowers find homes, what they can actually afford, and who they end up trusting. So let's unpack what this really means for lenders who actually want to win in this new landscape.
All right, so Section 1, the end of rate marketing. For what feels like an eternity, the game has been pretty straightforward. Shout the lowest rate, get the most clicks. But as we're about to see, that old playbook, yeah, it's officially broken.
Man, this quote just cuts right through all the noise, doesn't it? Lenders are waking up to the fact that attention is not intent. A click on a super low rate is, well, it's pretty meaningless when in today's market that rate is a total fantasy that just doesn't survive contact with the buyer's actual finances.
And this visualizes the core problem perfectly. The old way, shopping by home price, is just a setup for disappointment. You know how it goes. You fall in love with the house, only to find out the actual payment with taxes and insurance is an absolute nightmare. The new way, though, it starts with that payment, grounding the entire search in reality from day one. So this broken model, it creates this huge, kind of invisible problem for lenders. The source material calls it scale bleed, and it basically means you're losing the race before you've even tied your shoes. So in plain English, what does that mean? It means lenders are leaking their best, most serious customers before they even know they exist. They're losing them because they are completely absent from that very first conversation a buyer has about what they can afford. Now, take a look at this journey. Lenders traditionally jump in way down here at steps 3 and 4. You know, offer readiness and the loan itself. But by then, the game is already over. The most important decisions, the ones that build trust and really shape a buyer's choice, they've already happened way back in steps 1 and 2. And here's the bottom line. Lenders are fighting a battle downstream for a customer whose loyalty was already won way upstream. They're showing up at the end of the journey to compete on rate, when the real relationship was built during a search and discovery phase they were completely, totally absent from.
Okay, so how do we fix this? The source material identifies these 3 emerging rails. Think of it as a new playbook designed to actually win in this new landscape. Let's break them down.
The first rail is a direct assault on that broken search model. It's all about throwing out rate marketing entirely and replacing it with something called payment intelligence. And trust me, this is the engine of the entire new strategy. So payment intelligence does 3 things all at once. First, it anchors the buyer in what they can actually afford each month. No more fantasy numbers. Second, it funnels their search to only show them homes that are actually viable. And third, and this is the big one, it pulls the lender right into the center of that discovery process. This isn't just a better search tool, it makes the lender the most trusted advisor from the very start. All right. The second rail is all about plugging that leak we talked about, stopping scale bleed. Once you're having that early conversation using payment intelligence, the next step is to create an environment that captures a buyer's attention and keeps them with you long before a competitor can even find them. This is how you flip the script. The old way is totally passive. You're just, fishing for leads and hoping for a bite. The new way is active. By providing real-time payment data on every single property, you get inside the buyer's decision loop, guiding their search and making you an essential partner, not just a commodity. The third rail tackles the affordability crisis head-on. Now that you're guiding the buyer, you can use new capital models to unlock inventory they thought they could never afford. The key here is something called co-equity, which is basically a partner investing alongside the buyer to cover the down payment in exchange for a share of the home's future value. This is the gap that keeps so many qualified people from buying a home. A shortfall of just $15,000, maybe $40,000 on a down payment, that can be a total deal breaker. Co-equity models are designed to fill this specific gap, but their true power is only unlocked when you combine them with that first rail, payment intelligence.
And here's how it all clicks together. It's beautiful. Step 1. The payment first search finds the buyer's true monthly budget. Step 2. Co-equity capital comes in and fills that frustrating down payment gap. And then, step 3. The buyer re-enters the market with a much wider, more exciting range of homes to choose from. This turns a niche financial product into an incredibly powerful tool to close more loans.
So let's bring all three rails together. This isn't about some new marketing trick. No, this is about a fundamental shift. The future of lending is a battle over one thing and one thing only. Who gets to shape the buyer's choices from the very, very beginning?
This right here, this is the winning playbook. It's no longer a race for the lowest rate. The winners are going to be the ones who can integrate these three things: payment intelligence, early retention, and creative capital to own the buyer's journey from the absolute start.
And that's really the key takeaway here. None of this is theoretical. This isn't science fiction. The puzzle pieces, they already exist out in the market. The massive opportunity, the billion-dollar question, is for the lender who can put them all together into one seamless experience for the buyer.
And that leaves every single lender with a simple but, well, a pretty crucial question. This shift is happening right now, and it will create clear winners and losers. So will you build the systems to get inside the buyer's decision loop, or will you be left on the outside just fighting over the scraps? The race is on.